Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Sam, and today we're going to be going over 5 sneaky surprise factor deck lists that your opponents will almost certainly be unprepared for. All right, so before we get into these deck lists, they all kind of share one thing in common, so I just kind of want to go over that really quickly. So my goal as a player is to fly casual. I'm calling it kind of fly casual as, these sort of under the radar decks, they have the surprise advantage. They have this factor that your opponents are not going to be prepared for these matchups where they're playing against something that they've never seen before. They don't know how it works. They can obviously guess the kind of combinations that you're going through, but it just adds that extra layer of thinking that honestly can be really powerful, especially in a tournament setting. So yeah, that's what I like to play. That's what I find enjoyable. I'm really inspired by players like DJClero, who actually has 2 of his lists are on this video. One being Ackbar. It was really cool to see him take down the first PQ won by Ackbar, and then we saw more follow that in Brazil. Not small tournaments. So I think it's that kind of put me onto this idea that let's try to find cool combos that people aren't necessarily prepared for, and you're able to break a new combo while also playing a really powerful deck that just is kind of undiscovered. So other thing is that it's my other goal is about kind of flying casual, or that playing thematically flavorful decks and combos is really enjoyable. I mean, at the end of the day, we're playing a Star Wars game, and I love Star Wars, so I want to play things that feel right, like the Queen Amidala unit. That's one of my favorites from this set. I just love the story that tells. But there's a lot of cards like that in the game that I just want to play. So I don't care if it's not like premier, like as tier 1 as it can be. I just want to play cool combos. And then kind of the last goal that I wanted to talk about was just enjoying non-premier formats. I think a lot of combos that come up in draft, you discover that you might never discover if you're playing Premier and building a deck with a bunch of 3-ofs. I think casual, draft, but also pre-release are really, really fun because those are that's the first kind of peak that we get at the meta, really, is like what kind of new tools are we getting? What does the limited format look like that's actually tied to this set? So looking at strategies within a specific set are really cool to kind of see what were the developers thinking, what sort of flavor did they want with Secrets of Power. And that's really where I've been these last 2 months since I haven't really uploaded a video, is just sort of sinking my teeth into Twin Suns and sinking my teeth into more casual environment, and just really just enjoying the design of this set. I haven't really had much to say about it competitively until I figured out, okay, these are the decks that I'm really excited about, that I think actually are rising and are just sort of undiscovered. So let's hop right into it. So the first one is Cassian One Way Out. So some of you may seen a Force version of this build, which I tried out and I just didn't really enjoy because, first of all, you're taking a 5 health hit, and there's only a few cards in there like the Chiari Mundi that draw you 2 cards. But obviously the gimmick with this is aggressive negotiations. It's a card that says attack with a unit. For this attack, it gets +1 attack for each card in your hand. If you haven't heard it until now, it's one of the craziest cards in the set printed thus far. Craziest cards printed in general, I think. But I love it. I don't think it's like ban worthy or anything, but people say that when I play these decks, because you can just totally one-shot kill them, where you've got them to maybe 15 damage on their base, and then you play aggressive negotiations and you win. This version is not as one-shot kill as the Force version, because you have less card draw, but it's got a lot of other cool tools as well that I just wanted to kind of shout out that I've just really been enjoying. Papanoida, that's kind of the big pull for double red. He is so good. That's kind of the fun of this deck, is that you get to play Papa Lucas, and you're drawing cards like crazy. And best part is that it's not just you; it's also your opponent. If your opponent's drawing cards, and there's no limit on how many times you can do that. So, I've had games where, there's no answer to that 6 health body, and it's kind of monstrous, honestly. Typically, you want to play him on turn 3, where you're able to put down 2 units of 3 power, and then you play him. You can get the trigger off. You have 4 resources there on the turn 3, and yeah. But if not, you have cards like One Way Out and other pumps that can. It's just One Way Out. You don't want to do heroic sacrifice on him, but I have done that before. One Way Out's kind of nice because it gets him that buff. One Way Out is also a card that combos well with Fighters for Freedom, so you're getting that ping. It gives the +1, and then you just have to do like 1 overwhelm. So if you attack like a 2 healthy unit or something, you're dealing that 3 damage to the base. But it also helps Papa Noida deal 3 damage to the base if you want to play him on turn 2. Other thing that we got for this deck was Oppression Breeds Rebellion, which literally just draws you 3 cards if a unit was defeated while attacking this phase. Which, again, like Heroic Sacrifice, One Way Out are great kind of combos with that. And then Cinta, what can I say? Cassian's a 6 deploy leader, so Cinta's pretty good, but oftentimes if you can flip Cassian and, if you think you're safe and, you can flip Cassian safely, you'd want to do like a Cassian Sudden Ferocity plus a Aggressive Negotiations. That can sometimes oftentimes just close out the game. Obviously, Nemec is crazy. And Clan Ordo, just good cards all around, honestly. And sideboard didn't give a ton of thought to it. A lot of my testing has been on the site that shall not be named, but it's like Outer Rim Constable. You get the upgrade removal, twice the prize, another pump. Your units are a little weaker in this deck, so I don't know. I mean, it might be a cool thing to put on like Papa Noida. Cham, and then Luthen's Hollowcraft for more hand advantage. So, please let me know in the comments down below if you want to see more gameplay. I don't have any gameplay today, but if you'd like to see gameplay of this deck, just let me know. Maybe we can vote on one of the decks from today to do a dedicated video on next. So, Aggressive Negotiations, Karis, and Papa Noida, I think, are the 3 biggest stars of the deck that all came with the new set. They're all very affordable. I got a Prestige Papa Noida for like $1. So pick those Prestige Lucases up. And then Karis, he's getting a little more expensive, but what can I say? If you didn't get him when he was like $3, I'm sorry. All right. So next deck is kind of the last deck that I talked about before Sectors. So Bossk Yellow, again, still my favorite deck. I love it. I got a few new tools. I won't say a lot. I mean, obviously, Aggressive Negotiations is another Aggressive Negotiations deck. That was the card that this deck needed. I mean, it hits so hard in this deck, and I don't know what else to say. Like, it's an Aggressive Negotiations deck. You already draw a ton. I actually even moved off of Nabat Village because it's not really something that you want to pull early, and I think the deck just needs to slam a little bit more units so that you can benefit off of that versus like my previous version, which was like a ton of burn. It was just like planetary bombardments and like a lot of damage out of hand. I was usually relying on like Bossk flip and these like Toro resets and the Punishing One reset, which it still has, but Aggressive Negotiations is now the star of the deck. So, we added in some open fires to help just be a little bit more mid-rangey rather than just so turbo aggro, because we do want to last until that, critical point where we can finish with 1 or 2 Aggressive Negotiations. We want to be playing units. So, I guess kind of the updates have been just the Sheathipede, Emissary Sheathipede. That's just a great unit to stick. It's hard to kill. It dodges Falcon. It's just got a good stat line. I don't really care about the ready to resource thing. It's just a good unit. And honestly, that's like the kind of all of this has like great synergy with the bounty hunter and the bounties and stuff, but that's just one card that I think is flexible. It's just something that I'm liking right now. And then Bib Fortuna, I've really been liking. He's just great to reduce that aggressive negotiations, or oftentimes I'm reducing it on the bounty posting, so I can play that for 0. As well as the Relentless Pursuit, you can fit in more things on the Bossk turn if you're able to stick Bib. And then lastly, he's a shielded unit, so oftentimes they just kind of forget about him. They don't want to sink two attacks into him unless they have like a, if anything, he's power fodder, but, reducing the cost of like a Relentless Pursuit and then leaving 3 open is huge for that Bossk flip. And then sideboard, I did try the Arrest Unrefusable Offer combination. I think it's a great combo. My buddy Joey over at the Holotable Gaming Network actually kind of put me onto it because, it's a 4-cost 2-card combo to basically Change of Heart something. Kind of better though, Change of Heart plus like Palp Ping. So I like that combo, and with so much card draw, I might have to put it main deck sometime soon. I just don't know what to cut right now. I still think the units are important, so I wouldn't cut Emissary Sheath P just yet, but I could probably go down on it's hard to say, but I could maybe go down on the Open Fires and maybe go down on the guild targets. The bounty posting, it's hard to say, but it feels like every card is so important that it's like, maybe we play more cards than 50 because we do have so much card draw and so much selected card draw, but I don't know about that math. So this is where we're at now, but I'm loving it. And then the other thing I got was from Secrets of Power was Hunting Assassin Droid, which is just a 3-cost 3/4 bounty hunter, except while an enemy unit is damaged, gains raid 2, which a lot of the times enemy units are damaged, whether they're just naturally damaged by Han 2 that is, or you by pinging their things. So it's kind of like a 5/3, and it also resets Toro, and it's just a great 3-cost unit, and I think I like it better than the Boba 3-drop right now, so that's why I have that in there. But that's pretty much it. Highlighting these 2 cards, Aggressive Negotiations, Hunting Assassin, they're very good. All right, so this is DJClero's build. It's just exactly his list. I haven't changed anything, and I think it's pretty perfect. He does play 61, so if you have a gripe about that, that's fine. Recently placed 6th in a larger PQ with this, and I've just been absolutely loving it. It's so fun. Another Bib Fortuna in this deck as well. I think we got to take another look at him because he's kind of crazy. I mean, I saw him get played when like the Boba 1 was around, but he kind of just disappeared. I mean, I don't even know where to start. I guess let's just go down the list. So Hotshot, amazing card. Bib Fortuna, you can reduce the choose sides to 6. You can reduce the I am the Senate to a 5. You can play Obi on 4. Not doing that a lot, but also these little tricks like the No One Ever Knew, which by the way is amazing in this deck. It's kind of like a one-sided outmaneuver, but targeted, on the arena, because a lot of times you just have so many officials that, I'll pay 2, or in Bib Fortuna's case, 1 to tap down your whole board, and it's just so efficient. So that's kind of crazy, but getting those for cheap is even crazier. Super spicy, super lovely. And then we've got the Favorable Delegate, which is just another official that can, draw you a card and just be a body in play that, you can choose sides and then give them that. And then just like in the Ackbar build, kill the Favorable Delegate. They discard a card. It's just, very, very nice. Jar Jar, getting that explosive flip of doing Palpatine, Chancellor Palpatine, and Jar Jar with Sly Moore on 5 is nuts. Just putting a ton of bodies onto the board. They're all officials. And yeah, Jar Jar's good. Major Partagast, obviously there's a lot of official synergy. He is, they have to get rid of him. He's kind of a kill on sight, honestly, if they can't handle your board. Poggle is really good. You're playing him on 1, and then you can follow up with the 2, and then you leave 1 for the you're 100% going to get. I mean, you've got Poggle plus the 2-cost unit, and then the battle droid. they have any card in play that's exhausted or 2 cards in play that are exhausted, you're going to be able to get that spy with Sly's ability. And yeah, he's a great card. Okay, Seasoned Fleet Admiral. I mean, Yoda's running everywhere, everyone's drawing cards everywhere. It's like a pseudo 2/4 official, so why not? No good to me. I did talk to DJClero. He was saying that he feels like no good to me is in a really good spot right now, which I think totally makes sense with Han and Anakin running around. It's a very efficient counter for them. No one ever knew. Yeah, like I said, one-sided, outmaneuver. Kind of better, honestly, like in this deck. So super good call there. Chancellor Palpatine unit, yeah, putting out a bunch of stuff. We've seen a bunch of decks like that. We saw the Wat Tambor that Crispy had built, utilizing that where it's similar, like 5 deploy, 3/6 leader that's just going to, deploy, put on a ton of units and have a kind of a monster flip. And then Emperor's Royal Guard, yep. I mean, there's officials, so it's a good sentinel. Kino Loy, now I thought Ackbar was the place for him, but I actually think Sly is even better. I mean, he gets +1 for every exhausted unit, so this can be your finisher. It's kind of like your Partagaz, honestly. Like it's those 2 cards are the scalers that just can get out of hand if your opponent doesn't see it coming. Next, we got the Lurking Snub. I love this. A lot of time, like I was playing against actually Sealy Sun's deck that just won the Phasma. Everyone's playing that on the deck, the site that shall not be named. And which, speaking of which, another kind of spicy fly casual victory. Like we're seeing, Phasma win a PQ. Like that's amazing. So anyways, I was playing against that and they flip Phasma and I'm like, okay, I'll just flip Sly and play Lurking Snub and now your Phasma's down. And like that's a big tempo swing when you can each flip your leaders and, kind of, I don't know, just it's a good plot card. Sanctioner Shuttle, it's a great coordinate card. Capturing units, it's a crazy card. It's good in a ton of decks. Super Laser Tech and Resupply. We got Ramp, the Nubian Starskiff. You got officials. Rampart. I've considered bumping him up. I like Rampart a lot. And then OB, Crucible. Crucible is crazy, especially Sneak Attack Crucible, which you got Sneak in the sideboard. But Sneak Attack Crucible, I mean, when played, you're given an experience token to all of your units, and then when it dies, it hits for 5. Then when it dies, experience token to all of your units. Oof. And then sometimes you're swinging for 5, and then I was just playing Joey. He was playing a Crucible in a different build, but just playing a second Crucible to get the unique defeat effect, that is often like a line, we're taking. I Am the Senate, great go wide card. And then, crazy finishers like Cad Bane and Maul totally make sense. Maul has an amazing interaction with Bib Fortuna that Bib Fortuna's Underworld, and that shield, that can take infinite amount of damage. So Maul is great. And then Choose Sides. I think this is the best Choose Sides deck in the game at the moment. I do think it's better than Ackbar right now, just because you have more bodies. I mean, the 2/2s in space are better than the spies, but the spies, there's usually more of them. You have more spy makers than you do X-Wing makers. You can only really get 1 X-Wing per turn with the Ackbar tap, except for on the flip. I guess you can tap and then flip and then tap again and get 2. But, Sly, she's making more spies because she has cards that make spies, that make droids. You can give a 1/1 to somebody and take their Devastator. Like, it's nuts. And people still aren't prepared for that card. People forget about it. And they're just like, ready, and these mid-range decks, they're playing Bo-Katans. Take their Bo-Katan. Yeah, they better not go wide. They better not spread the love. They stack that on their Bo-Katan. I'm taking that. And then, yeah, Reinforcement Walker, Devastator, amazing finishers. So, I mean, it's been super fun to play this deck. I think these are kind of the shining cards right now that people, should pay attention to with this. And, yeah, I've super enjoyed it. I think this is just a start with Sly for sure. And then that brings us to Ackbar Data Vault. Yes, a lot of the same kind of interactions here. Again, just super inspired by DJClero's playstyle and creative building, because it's kind of like this go wide meta right now. Like, we can actually go wide for the first time in a long time. I think controls sort of like dimming down, and or villain control at least. So that's one thing. Like hyperspace disaster, this is gonna kill Ackbar pretty thoroughly, but it's not being played in every deck. Like, control isn't just everywhere like it used to be, at least in my local meta. And yeah, it's just a lovely deck. You got the Emissary Sheathipede again. It's just a super nice 2/4, and things like Bail Organa that are just good tappers that can also create stuff if you're getting that hand advantage with things like the Bright Hope bounce and the Favorable Delegate bounce. You can afford to make spies and go even wider than you have before. And then Queen Amidala is incredible because she can make 2 spies and just be amazing. And then actually, this is the first deck that I started building. I got my Figure Unity super quick, because Figure Unity, I mean, yeah, you can't play that in a Villain Swarm deck. So this is your deck to play it, I think. Giving everything Overwhelm, Raid 1, and Restore. It's just a game ender. It's kind of feels like, when we used to use Anakin, that was kind of the finisher. In this, you could just strap him on, and you dealt crazy amounts of damage with just that one card. Same thing with Figure Unity. It's a little more, it's nice if you can get on Ackbar because he's stickier. But if not, Queen Amidala is actually great to use that too, because it's hard for her to be defeated. And Bright Hope wears it very well as well. So and then I don't really think there's anything else. The Crucible obviously is just an awesome new addition, and Choose Sides is kind of unbelievable. But that's Ackbar. So go pick up your Queen Amidalas. Go to your store showdown and get those Queen Amidalas for this one. But I think it's probably one of the best editions of the deck. Even just playing it on 5. I mean, I think it's obviously just an awesome card. So so this one, listen, I know people have been wanting kind of like this. Most people are just playing Piet in this color combination with the kind of droid, invisible hand package. But I will tell you, this is not a tier 1, not a tier 2 deck even. Probably more like tier 3. I just really wanted something to play the Vuutun Palaa. And this is not to say, like, I do think that this can be very OP. I mean, like, when you get the Gonk droid into the invisible hand on turn 2, that's nuts. That's game winning. It's that extreme strategy. Gonk droid, if you have the initiative, or they don't have a way to kill it, you can, attack and then exploit the Gonk droid, and you get the invisible hand for 3, and then you get another droid. So there's just some bonkers things you can do in this deck. I like it a lot. Mirage Centel was another good kind of addition, because you can get her out on turn 2, and then you've just got a 3/7. I mean, that's nuts with upside. You've got the little 3 damage ping, and then additional overwhelm. I think is really cool. She's separatist. So Vuutun Palaa can also be brought out super early. The Battle Droid Escort and the Vuutun Palaa really like each other, as well as Kraken on turn 2. Just bringing out so many droids, and then all of a sudden you got a massive 7/7 that says just tap your droids and get a free Overwhelming Barrage. It's a little anti-synergistic with the Invasion Control Ship, which I think is kind of funny because they do kind of opposite things. This one's like, tap your units to get resources, and then the Invasion Control Ship's like, don't tap them because they have Raid 2. But the Invasion Control Ship is amazing in this deck too. I mean, you can get the Vuutun Palaa down and then tap all your droids to get the Invasion Control Ship in on like the same turn, maybe, by exploiting it and tapping it, because you can do that. You can tap and then exploit. explode in value. So yeah, I mean, I love it personally. It's kind of a fun like pet deck to kind of come back to and see like, you know, where is this gonna be? But yeah, I do wish Dooku deployed a little bit earlier. But there is some OP shenanigans that you can do with this. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Let me know what deck do you want to see more of? What deck do you want to see gameplay of? What deck do you want to see gameplay into? Do you want to see how, you know, Bossk does into Anakin? Do you want to see how Slypher does into the Yoda data vault? You know, what do you guys want to see out of these decks if you're interested in it and in any of them? And yeah, so let me know. Well, alrighty, that's going to be all for today. So thanks for playing the game I love, and we'll catch you on the flip. It's